because, folks, we got a fun one for you. Stuart Schweigert, the Raiders' second-year safety, number 30. His dad, Stuart Schweigert Sr., is an officer in Saginaw, Michigan. He's a man of the law. And his son is a man who loves to run and loves football. So let's listen in on Stu Schweigert Sr. talking about his son on our Babies to Man feature.
He was always interested in sports, and as soon as he could play football, I mean, that got his attention, and he kind of focused on that. But he played all sports, from, soccer. He was involved with gymnastics when he was 4 or 5 years old, and he liked to compete, but when football came around, I mean, that just turned into his sport.
Now, I got to ask you, as a sergeant, are you in the Saginaw, Michigan Police Department, sir?
I'm a sheriff. I'm a shift commander at the Sheriff's Department here in Saginaw County.
Okay, now, I understand that you don't bring the handcuffs into the house for your kids, but how tight a ship did you run? Were you Bobby Knight Jr. at home with Stuart as a kid?
Actually, I gave him a lot of leeway. I wasn't real strict on him, but he didn't mess up a lot. He wasn't a kid that required a lot of supervision. I didn't have to tell him to do his homework. I didn't have to tell him to get down to business. He took care of things, so I didn't have to be strict with him.
Hospital corners on the beds, neat and clean, tidy, and up at 6 a.m.?
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that to anybody, no.
Oh, good to hear. Oh, good. So, an enlightened man of the law. That's doubly good. Now, Stuart has got to be one of the more delightful guys. His personality, he's bright, he's energetic, he's always upbeat, always a positive kid. But I imagine when he was a youngster, there had to be a little devil in his eye for some things that you're going to tell us now that had never been told before.
Well, there was a couple occasions, and one of them, it kind of goes back to his competitiveness. I used to take him to a putt-putt golf course, which is right near our house, and gosh, he couldn't have been more than 4 or 5 years old, and we'd go there 2 or 3 times a week. And one time we were playing putt-putt golf, and I turned around and I caught him, and he was trying to change the score on the little scoring card, and he just didn't want to get beat, And from an early age, he wanted to win, and that came right down to the putt-putt golf. At that early age, he was trying to finagle the score a little bit. Didn't think I was looking because he wanted to beat me. So.
That sounds like weekend golfers, That's what they do with the scorecard.
Now, he goes to Purdue and breaks the school record for interceptions. Now, I'm going to bring in a sensitive subject here. There are not many white defensive backs in the National Football League, and not as many who can run as fast as this young man. Holy smokes, he's about as fast as you could ever be.
Well, a lot of people don't realize how fast Stuart is, and he was actually the 100-meter state champ in Michigan, and Michigan has got a lot of high school athletes, and he beat Charlie Rogers for the title as a junior and recorded the fastest 100-meter time ever recorded in Michigan. You're right. People, because he's white, they don't think he's going to be that fast, but he's had that speed and he's proved it.
Why not the offensive side of the ball? I mean, with all that speed and his size, great wide receiver he probably could have made.
He could have been, and he played a quarterback offensively in high school and was recruited out of high school. In fact, Notre Dame was after him quite heavily to play quarterback. On the offensive side of the ball, he had a lot of offers. But I think he looked ahead down the road and felt maybe his niche would be defensively because he liked to play that too, and I think there was probably more opportunities for him at that position.
Yeah, he's just got all those skills. I got a kick out of his tale with us on Raiders Recap earlier in the year when he was our guest over at Everett and Jones Barbecue at Jack London Square in Oakland. When he said his first day of practice at training camp, he's suiting up, getting dressed in the locker room, and Warren Sapp looked over at him like, "What are you doing here?" He thought Stuart was the ball boy because he's not exactly the most, big, strapping dude.
You're right. He's kind of lean and he's got some muscle, but he's not a real thick guy, no.
Well, he's fit. He just doesn't have that, that killer look about him. But his temperament belies the look, I think.
I think it does. I think he surprises people. People see him out in public, and we go out, and was that the football? That's a football player? He doesn't look like he's a football player, because he's kind of lean,
What about Stuart Schweigert Sr.? Did you play any sports at all?
I played college football at a small college. Probably never heard of it in South Dakota. It was Yankton College. Matter of fact, the guy I replaced, I was a defensive tackle, was Lyle Alzado. He went to school there, and he had graduated, and he was a right defensive tackle at the college, and I came in that next year, and I played some small college football out there in South Dakota. So, yeah, I was football was my sport too.
Well, it's been fun catching up with you. I know you're excited to see your boy out there, his second year and starting safety in the NFL. That's quite an accomplishment. And he's been a guy with a nose for the football, forcing fumbles, had his first interception a couple of weeks ago, and I know you're awfully proud.
Oh, I have been. I think his play has picked up the last few games, and he's looking more like the Purdue player that was so awesome down in Lafayette. And yeah, it's been exciting, very exciting.
Yeah.
This is fresh meat.